Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Going to spend some time with my good friend, Alan Paine. He's with a great organization called richclub.org, and they do a phenomenal job helping people pursue the American dream. They're phenomenal. They partner with individuals. They cultivate personal success. You're involved not only just in real estate, though. You've got this great program that you've been doing to help people acquire goals, not only pursue goals, but even how to develop goals. I mean, you guys really are in the rich business.
We're really trying to help people find a pathway to become successful and to reach their dreams. That's a nice way to word it.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, you can learn more about them at richclub.org. And you've got a great guest for us today.
Yes, I do. Today, I've got a guy here. We're getting ready to do a class here in another week on November 8th. And we're going to do a class on construction workshop, so people to learn how to do construction. And my guest here today is Pat Reisinger, the guy who's going to lead this thing. So, Pat, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm Pat Reisinger. I started hanging sheetrock when I was 12 years old. My father and my uncle and my grandmother's rent houses, and I've been working in the building and trades for over 40 years. And basically what I do now is I help people with not only finding a house, but also help them with making sure that the house is a good deal, and it can be rehabbed in the proper way. And the main thing is working with contractors. Most people that do this business start doing this business have no background in working with contractors, and that's where the real rub starts.
Tell me about that. What's the challenge with working with contractors?
Well, the challenge is finding, first of all, people that are qualified to work in the wholesale market. This is wholesale business, whereas retail is like you working at your house. This is working on a property, a distressed house that you're buying wholesale. You're going to rehab it on a wholesale basis with wholesale contractors, and you make your profit by selling it in the retail market.
Yeah, very good. Alan?
Yeah, Pat, I mean, I wanted to, first off, what's the name of your company that you have? And then tell us a little contact info. Yes,
the name of my company is Residential Rehab Consulting. I have a website, and it is www.residentialrehabconsulting.com.
Nothing like a short name.
Yeah, well, the one thing I got that name is because no one in the state of Texas has that name. And when you're at LLC, you need a name that no one else has.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. So how old is your company? How long have you been doing this?
My company is now about 18 months old. However, I've been in the business for almost 40 years. I've had construction companies, owned a cabinet shop, and also worked a number of years for industrial display houses, working for large corporations like IBM and et cetera.
Very good.
Pat's not new to this. I mean, I really know that. Now, Pat, what's the biggest challenge for a newbie with a contractor? What's their biggest challenge on getting a house done?
Well, the biggest challenge is knowing the order of the project. Like I've seen people going in, when I worked for a hard money lending company or an asset-based lending company for about 6 years, I'd go look at a job where someone did the roof before they did the foundation, and then, of course, the roof was buckled. So you want to make sure that the project's done in the right order, because you can do more damage and cost yourself more funds than you realize by not knowing those simple rules of construction.
Yeah, absolutely. I would think that you are particularly crucial in working with the newbies, right? The new guys when they're first getting started. I mean, how does that process look?
Well, absolutely. I work with a lot of newbies. However, I've got to say I work with a lot of guys that's been in this business for a long time. People that have been in the business a long time go to all the meetings and all because you're still in the learning curve. The main thing is get through to a newbie that you need a mentor. You need a mentor not only finding the house, but you need a mentor on your first deal at least to get through the construction process and knowing how to hire contractors and learning the process how to talk to people. Most people don't know how to talk to the contractors. And let's face it, if you work with a contractor, you know he's a different breed of person than your average public person.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Pat, really in there, you don't write the scope of work for people, but you go over the scope of work for them. And what is the scope of work first?
Well, absolutely. I set up a scope of work. Generally what I do is I meet with a client and I take I don't use a legal pad much anymore. I take a camera with me and I take 75 or 100 pictures of the house while we talk about it. So that therefore, when I go back and look to build their Excel spreadsheet on what I think the repairs are, I have exactly what's going on in the house. Because your eye sees one thing and the camera sees a reality. So I learned to use a camera years ago as opposed to just a legal pad. Because a legal pad, you can write down all the notes, but when you get back, you can't remember everything.
A picture speaks 1,000 words.
It speaks more than 1,000 words sometimes.
So if you're talking 70 pictures, you're talking about a pretty massive volume of work to help you navigate through that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Alan?
I mean, so Pat, there you take the pictures and you sit down with them, but so tell them what a scope of work is and what you do with that scope of work.
Yeah, that's correct. A scope of work basically is set up to say, okay, this is where we're going to start. This is what we're going to do first. We start at the front door. Actually, I was starting in the front yard. I said the first thing I want to tell them is mow the yard, because you mow the yard and clean it up. Now all those neighbors that had to look at that house for the last 2 years being distressed, grass 3 feet tall, are now your best friend.
Right. Pat, again, now you're going to tell us what's going on, not this weekend, but next weekend. So what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. On November the 8th, I was asked by the Rich Club. I did one of these on May the 17th. Huge success. I had 55 investors there, got a lot of emails. The Rich Club invited me to do a construction workshop on November the 8th at their office at 4220 Lockfield. Right now, I think the top cost of this, if you wait till the last minute, is what, $297 or something like that?
Something like that.
But right now is a big discount. If you sign up now, call the Rich Club and sign up for this thing. I guarantee it'll be the best construction workshop you'll ever come to.
Right. Now, and that's from 9 to 5 on Saturday is content all day.
That's right. I have 6 other speakers that are actually my subcontractors. They will not be selling their business. They will be talking about teaching, and they will teach their various aspects of the project.
I got to wrap it up. residentialrehabconsulting.com. That's residentialrehabconsulting.com. And Pat, thanks so much for being with us. And, of course, Alan Paine, he's with richclub.org. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I'm Kevin Price. You're listening to The Price of Business. We want to remind you, best content here can be found over there at usdailyreview.com. Have a great day. Spend it wisely right here.
Portions of today's Price of Business have been brought to you by Four Guys Interactive and Rich Club.